Hello and welcome. So I'm doing a quick impromptu Q&A for the new ForceTube that has just been announced and is currently up for pre-order. So as you can tell, here are pictures of it on a stock. You scroll down, you can see some more stuff here, as well as some text. Again, these links are in the announcement page. So if you just go to the announcements channel in the Discord server, these are those two links. These are those two links in bit form, the bit.ly form. Anyway, so here's some more pictures of it. It looks really nice as far as pictures go. I actually have one in my hand right here. So don't you worry, I can show you that in full detail after going through these pages. Go ahead and drop any questions you have, even if it's not related directly to this ForceTube product. Just drop any questions in chat. I should be able to answer them. Then here's a list of some of the compatible games. Actually, that might be all of them. This is a big one. So Sniper Elite VR, if you were not aware, as of today, as of their latest update, native support for ForceTube. So ForceTube Haptics works with Sniper Elite VR, does not matter what platform. So if you're on Steam, if you're on Oculus at home, if you're on Oculus Quest, it works, according to the devs themselves. So that's another big piece of news for today. And yeah, and then there's this wonderful gallery that we can go through here. Let's see here. So this red button right here is the power button. You hold that in to turn it on. That right there is the USB-C port for the charging cable, which you just hook into your computer. And it's 7 hours charging time, as you can see down here. Let's see. So one thing I know a lot of people are going to be confused on or curious about, what are these holes? So as you can tell, there's screws that hold it in, but there are these holes here. And what those are threaded holes. So this device is future-proofed. It is not just intended to be connected to a stock from ProTube, but if you want to DIY your own thing or are using some other stock, there are all sorts of holes all around the thing, on the top, on the front, I guess you call it, and then on the bottom, which you can screw anything else into. So you can DIY your own mount for this. So this isn't exclusive in any shape or form to ProTube's MagTube stock. Then down here, we see the technical specifications, and I know some of this will be confusing, but I'll just go over it here. So it's Bluetooth 4.0. It includes a dongle. I highly recommend using said dongle. There are some issues that you may encounter with some input delay or a feeling of unresponsiveness with the product if you use the onboard Bluetooth. So highly recommended to use a provided dongle. If that doesn't work, try a different port. Try another dongle if you have one. There is some ForceTube documentation under tutorials, or at least there should be. There is also, if you go to the ForceTube specific channel in the Discord server, in the pin messages from back, I think sometime last year, actually, is the latest ForceTube documentation, which I helped put together, that has all sorts of nice troubleshooting suggestions and whatnot. So the big difference between this and Gen 2, which because Gen 2 has been delisted, I can't straight up compare, but this is listed as Gen 4. So Gen 3 is the professional version, which is not out yet. I have no pictures of that. I can't show anything or talk about that because I don't have that information. But this right here is Gen 4, is what they are calling this. So this is 2,500 milliamps, the battery, which allows for 4 hours, and it takes 7 hours to charge. So that's slightly less than Gen 2, but it's the same charging method. The kick power, this is what everyone's going to be confused on. I had already seen all sorts of confusion about this with the ProTubeVR Scout, so let me clear this up here. I talked in depth with Boren about this because I too was slightly confused. So 5 joules max doesn't mean what you think it means. They're just choosing to list it differently. So for those in the know, the Gen 2 ForceTube, in other words, the ForceTube that you see in all these pictures down here for all these videos, that's the Gen 2 ForceTube. That's ForceTube. Everyone who has a ForceTube right now, that's what they have. And the kick power for that was advertised as 60 newtons of force. So what the heck is this 5 joules, and what does that mean? So it has actually nothing to do with that numerical value, or even, it can't even be a comparison. What this 5 joules means is actually to do with the electronics. So the electricity going through it is 5 joules max. It has nothing to do with the actual kick of a device. So while not listed here, I was told, and for my personal experience in using it, I would agree that the actual kick strength of it is about 50 to 55 newtons. So it's about 5 to 10 newtons less powerful than the Gen 2 ForceTube. Keep in mind that this is called the Scout, and like the ProTubeVR Scout, is designed to be a lighter weight, more eco-friendly, and therefore cost less model. So if we go back up here to the price of the just standalone, it's 249. So this is 250 euros for this. It is supposed to be on sale, 10% off through the end of Sunday. I'm not sure if that is both of them already applied. We'll find out. Okay, so it looks like it shows it here for 296. So if I go here, yep, 296. So it should be active right now for both of them. What else? So yeah, that was a big confusion. Is the kick power right here. So comparing it to the Gen 2, it is basically just ever so slightly weaker. If I were to use a comparison, I'll just sign what it already put so I can say it word for word because it works. Where was it? Okay, so the Gen 4 ForceTube Scout right here. I also have the other one. It's down below my desk. I can't quickly grab it. But the way I would compare them if I was using cars, the Gen 2 is like a muscle car, and the Gen 4 is a refined sports car. So the Gen 2 is just massive power, you know, loud and proud. And the Gen 4 is refined, sleek, and efficient. So if you've seen Fast and Furious, you know, you think Dominic Toretto, he likes those big muscle cars. You know, that's the Gen 2. Then Paul Walker's character, whose name escapes me right now, he's really into the Asian cars, the rice burners, whatever they're called, the sports cars. And so that's the proper comparison I would make between the two. So let's see here. I'm not sure what this refers to, so I won't say anything about that. So the weight is 560 grams. And if I was on a gun stock, it's 1.2 kilograms. I am not sure if this assumes you are using the carbon gun stock or not, so I can't quote that specifically. So yeah, so that's the pages. Here's some more pictures. So this is roughly what the dongle will look like. This is roughly what the cable will look like. I don't know the exact length of this, but I want to say it's around 3 feet. It's not super duper long, but it's not super duper short. So it's about like, you know, yay length, maybe longer. But that's what I received at least. I'm not sure what you guys would receive. So this is just basically the same page. And over here it says this. Now this is a placeholder page that I already had on the ProTubeVR Scout. So this information right here where it says 2 months is incorrect. It is 3 months. I have been told 3 months from the day you place the order. So today being September 7th, December 7th is when you could expect to hear more updates about shipping status. So again, if you have any questions whatsoever, just drop them in chat. I'd be happy to answer anything. So, without further ado, I guess we can swap over and I will just show you this. Okay, so let me pull up the ForceTube software. So this is the ForceTube companion app. I'm not 100% sure if what I have right here is the latest. I'm just using what's on my computer right now. So here it is. It's already powered on. If I do this, you can see it better for lighting from the monitor. But here it is. This is the ProTubeVR ForceTube Scout. So again, the red button is the power button. You just hold it in to turn it on, hold it in to turn it off. The green light that you see indicates that it is connected because I have a companion app on, so it's connected to that. There's another light which you can't see. It's basically right here. That's something else. But there's two LEDs inside this, just like the Gen 2. So again, right here is where you plug in the USB-C cable, and you just plug it into your computer to charge it. If you buy this, when it arrives in the mail, you will have to charge this. For safety and legal reasons, it has very low charge when it arrives. If you try to turn it on, it might work, it might not. So it is in your best interest to just, once you have it, just inspect it, make sure everything's fine, then just plug it into your computer and charge it. The light will blink while charging. It will be a yellow color, I'm pretty sure. Or it might be a solid, I forget. But once it's been 7 hours, unplug it, power it on, see what color this light is. If this light is green like right now, then it could be like, 80 to 50% power. If it's white, then that means it's full. So going back to the companion, let's see here. Does it show the information here? It was supposed to. I'm just confused because it's supposed to show on this page where the power is. Anyway, the companion app is supposed to, this is probably an older version, but inside the companion app you are supposed to be able to see the battery power, like how much battery is left. So anyway, again, for anyone confused what all these holes here are for, I'll try to show it. So as you notice, there's metal inside, and those are threaded holes. So every single one of these holes you see here, there's another one here, there's more up top, and of course, where this is mounted in right here, there are also holes. So those are designed for if you want to DIY your own stock, or if you want to mount this to something else differently than using this piece, then that is how you would do so. Correction, this does not come off. It is just fully attached. So for those confused, I am not an official ProTube employee. I'm just volunteer help on their Discord as a Discord admin. So I am not actually part of their company, so I'm not 100% knowledgeable about everything ProTube. But so the way this kicks is you don't have to do anything, it just kicks on its own. But as you can tell, they've greatly reinforced this. There's no felt thing here. It works really well. And so we will do some demo stuff. So what I will do is I guess I will try and show it here this way. And then after showing it this way, I will try and put it up to the microphone so you can hopefully hear it. I have actually recorded it before. It's really hard to pick it up. So the biggest difference between this and the Gen 2 ForceTube is the amount of sound it produces. This is a very quiet device. If you notice this grill-like stuff, that is vented for heat dissipation. Similarly, you have stuff here. That's it. It's not the full side like the Gen 2. but it just produces less noise. So this will be an example sniper. So as you can tell, it is moving. You have to pay a lot of attention to see it move, though. This is P90. M16. Otherwise a burst weapon. This is PKM, so full auto, but less RPM than the P90. And then this right here is a laser gun. So it holds up the charge and then it fires. Let me change filter on my microphone so you can hear everything. So you should be able to hear my lovely fan, everything else in my room. So now I'll just put it up here. Trying to see if I can produce the sound better elsewhere. So that is what it sounds like as best as I can demonstrate. So yeah. Again, as far as how it feels very similar in kick to the Gen 2. One factor that might be misleading in how strong it is again the noise factor. As you could tell, it is quieter than the Gen 2. And noise is a factor, a psychological one, but it is a factor in how quote-unquote powerful it feels. So, you know, if it's loud and it kicks, you know, it might seem like it's stronger than if it's quiet, but all you feel is a kick. So you'll definitely hear this while you play. Depending on what your volume is, you might not hear it as much as you think. But you can definitely still hear it. It's just a lot quieter than Gen 2. So again, 4 hours battery life. And yeah. So again, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop them in chat and I'll answer them. I should be able to. For comparison, I want to grab my Gen 2, power that on, so you guys can see that, hear that. So again, you just hold this button and it should power off. So it rumbles and then it powers off. And so now this is powered off. And again, it says like 560 grams of weight. It's very light. Now, one thing people like to do, well, anyway. All right, so give me a moment here. So this right here is the Gen 2. So here's a direct comparison. They're both lined up. Oh, that's hilarious. Me pushing against this turned this on. So as you can tell, there's a custom design on it that's for my channel, for the Viking logo you see. But, well, because of the stock being right here, it's going to be hard to show everything as a direct comparison. But, you know, so this is a lot smaller, you know? Like, it's very clearly smaller. So the biggest change is the back of it. Gen 2 has this Velcro that you can remove, whereas this doesn't. How it mounts is also different. As you can tell, this just looks like a better print, for lack of a better term. This is solid all the way, but I'm not sure how to explain it, but this just feels heavier duty print. That's the best I can explain it. It just looks and seems heavier duty print. So yeah, This one you're not designed to be able to easily take the side panel off, so I can't show you the internals or anything. Similarly, I've never taken this apart or anything like that. But this is now connected. It's now plugged in. So I'll show the demos again for this. Trying to make sure the stock's not in the way. So I can't put it up as close, but so as you can tell, it does move visibly. So that's P90, M16, lower RPM, but PKM, then the laser fire, where it rumbles when it fires. So again, for audio comparison, this should be good. So it's visibly louder by quite a few decibels, just looking at my stream volume. So that is the audio difference in comparison between the two. So yeah, again, the loudness of this is very deceiving for the strength, and it makes it feel like this kicks more. In reality, this kicks just about as strong. It's ever so slightly little. I'm talking maybe 10% less. You're not going to be able to physically tell too much of a difference. Like, if you have them two side by side like I do, you're going to tell a difference. But again, the main difference, which is psychological, is the sound, the level of sound. But if I had a choice between the two, I like the sound of this better. I don't know. I've used this for so long. I just like the sound of it better. But if sound was not a thing, if the levels were the same, I would prefer this hands down. The way this looks is so clean. It just looks so good. And, you know, it just feels different as well, you know, for a cheek weld. It feels a lot better. It's smoother. It's not necessarily... I honestly can't tell if it's different material. I would assume it's the same material because it's all carbon. But just the way it's finished, just the finish on this is a lot smoother. It just feels so much better texture-wise. But yeah, this is a very nice improvement over this. It's a very welcome one, I might add. It might have less internally in terms of haptics, you know, the rumbles. A solenoid might be smaller, I don't know. It has slightly less battery power. It takes slightly less longer to charge. But overall, this is great. So, highly recommend it if you don't already have a ForceTube. See if I can fix the autofocus here. It doesn't like me for some reason. There we go. I'm not blurry anymore. But yeah, so the ForceTube Scout, as it's called, again, is up for pre-order. It will ship in 3 months' time from when you order. So if you ordered today, it would ship in December. And also, it is on sale. So between now and Sunday night, it is on sale for 10% off. This is both the standalone module and the gun stock. So yeah, again, if you have any questions, just ask. But I've pretty much gone over everything I think I should go over. Again, it works on Quest, works on Quest 2, works in SteamVR. There's quite a few native games. If you are on PC and you are running a game on SteamVR, specifically through OpenVR, in other words, you're not running a game on Steam, but it's using the Oculus stuff, then the backwards compatibility app, which I showed here, will give you backwards compatibility for games that aren't natively supported. So Population 1, Pistol Whip, things of that nature. If you are using a computer, you can hook this up and use it. But yeah, so again, this is the ForceTube Scout. I'm not sure if it is similar to the ProTubeVR Scout in the sense that they've asked people if they have any name suggestions. But this is basically a light version of the ForceTube. It is called Gen 4, Gen 3 being a professional version of this, so it's bigger. No word on when that comes out, but that will be out at some point. And will obviously cost more. Yeah, so I think that does it. I will be saving this. I will also be putting this in the announcements channel, as well as share your content and all that good stuff. Yeah, keep your eye out for an announcement tomorrow morning. I have something else to announce. It will be quite nice. In the Discord, I mean, not my channel. So keep an eye out. It will be another Add Everyone mention. But yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say and show about the new ForceTube Scout. Keep an eye on the announcement channel for more information for stuff from tomorrow. And keep an eye on the pre-order notice channel for updates on shipping. Again, this is on sale 10% off through Sunday night. And links for where you can get these are in the announcements channel. So I am BountyV VR Viking, and I will catch you all later.